Wall Street Masterclass, The Blessing from the Top, Admire to Conquer. Listen to me. I want you to observe a familiar scene on the busiest streets of New York. When a polished Rolls-Royce glides by or a $1 million yacht docks at the pier, look at the eyes of the crowd standing on the sidewalk. What do you see? A smoldering fire of resentment? The poor will spit on the ground. They will curl their lips and mutter that it is just another group of arrogant rich people, and they must have done something crooked to get that money. That is the exact moment they slam the door to their own wealth. They do not understand a supreme law of the universe. You can never become what you hate. If you view prosperity as a crime, your subconscious will do everything to keep you in the mud of poverty just so you can stay pure. What a pathetic kind of holiness. The difference between a mediocre worker and a godfather lies in how we treat the success of others. The poor nurture envy like a poisonous snake in their heart. They feel insulted when they see someone owning what they crave but do not have. They believe money is a finite pie, where someone taking a large slice means they lose out. That hatred does not make the rich man's pocket any lighter. It only rots your own soul. It is like drinking poison and waiting for your rival to die. It is pure stupidity. But us, the masters of the game, see the world with the eyes of wise predators. When we see an empire being built, we do not look at it with cheap envy. We look at it with absolute admiration. We bless that prosperity. Why? Because when you bless the success of others, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe that you appreciate this value, you love this wealth, and you are ready to own it. We do not stand there to judge, we stand there to study. We ask ourselves, what strategy did they use to dominate? How sharp was their vision? How can I learn and surpass that greatness? Rich people admire successful people because we understand the brutal price they paid. We see the iron discipline, the sleepless nights in the office, and the loneliness of the leader behind those billion-dollar figures. If you want to step into the ranks of the powerful, you must learn to love them first. Find where they live, observe how they think, and celebrate their victories as if they were your own. Never be the outsider casting bitter words. Be the person standing in the winner's circle, sharing the glory. Remember this well. You can only achieve what you truly admire. Bless what you want to have, and one day the world will have to bless you. Wall Street Masterclass, The Power Circle Strategy, Alliance or Doom. Sit down and look at your phone contacts. I will tell you exactly where your future lies. There is a brutal truth you must face. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to fly with eagles, do not waste your time swimming with ducks. If you want to own Wall Street, do not waste your life gossiping with people who only moan about their fate in cheap coffee shops. The failing crowd has a powerful magnetism, but it is the magnetism of collapse. They love to gather to complain together, to blame the economy, to blame the government, and to nurture negativity. That negativity is like an invisible virus. It spreads through their breath, through their eyes, and through their discouraging words. If you stay around people who only see risks and difficulties, your own eyes will eventually be clouded by the fog of cowardice. You will start to believe that this world is an unfair place and that success is a luxury not meant for you. On the contrary, rich people see the world through the lens of power alliances. We do not just socialize for fun, we build winning ecosystems. We seek out minds sharper than ours, people with visions so far-reaching they make others tremble, and those who dare to bet their entire lives on giant games. Why? Because the energy of success is a powerful radiation. When you sit in a room full of masters, the conversation is no longer about how to make enough money to pay the bills. It is about how to take over the market and multiply wealth 100 times over. Never feel small when approaching people who are better than you. Consider it a privilege, a $1 million masterclass to breathe the same air as the dominators. Rich people understand that associating with successful people is the fastest way to hack into their mindset. You do not just learn strategy, you learn their aura, how they smile in the face of a storm, and how they make decisions in the blink of an eye. Look at the people around you right now. Are they fueling your ambition, or are they throwing cold water on your dreams every day? If they only bring you negativity, have the courage to strike their names from your life. Do not fear loneliness. The mountain peak is very narrow. It is only for those with the strength to leave behind mediocre burdens. Remember my words. Your network is your true net worth. Choose the people who bring light to your vision and establish a new order for your own world together with them.
The echo of power. Do not be a buried secret. Listen to me. You could be the most brilliant genius to ever step foot on Wall Street. You could own a product that changes the very fabric of humanity. But if you just sit there in the dark waiting for the world to find you, you will die poor and pathetically forgotten. In this world, the one who commands attention is the one who commands power. The mediocre crowd has a twisted view of promotion. They think selling, marketing, or building a name is cheap, arrogant, and dishonest. They would rather suffer in poverty than speak up to introduce themselves. But let me tell you the brutal truth. If you truly believe that what you have brings real value to life, then keeping it a secret is a crime against the people who need it. Rich people do not just create value. We are masters at broadcasting that value. We do not stand in the corner of the room waiting for a handout of attention. We build our own stage. We turn on the brightest lights, and we boldly declare to the world exactly what we can do. Promotion is not hollow bragging. It is passion. It is an absolute faith in the solution you provide. When you have ironclad belief in your own value, your words carry the weight of diamonds. People will have no choice but to listen. Look at the most powerful empires and the billionaires running the world. They spend billions of dollars every year just to make sure their name never fades from the mind of the crowd. They understand that attention is the new currency, and they will do whatever it takes to own it. If you still feel shy about talking about your success, if you find it hard to sell your own ideas, then you are building a wall between yourself and wealth. The rich promote themselves with heat and the highest level of self-respect. They see it as a noble mission to deliver value. Do not ever let yourself be a secret buried at the bottom of the ocean. Be an icon celebrated in the sun. Stand up, look the crowd in the eye, and show them who you are and how you can change their lives. If you do not promote yourself, do not ever expect anyone else to do it for you. Remember this, value only becomes an asset when it's recognized and appraised by the world. The stature of a winner. Do not let problems swallow your vision. Listen, the secret to wealth is not about avoiding trouble or running away from your problems. If you spend your life praying for a life without difficulties, you are praying to become a mediocre and weak person. The brutal truth on Wall Street is this. Problems never disappear. They only grow larger as you become more successful. The only difference between a loser and a godfather is their stature in relation to that problem. The crowd out there often lets themselves be swallowed by petty troubles. They hit a financial snag, a workplace incident, or a bit of criticism, and their whole world collapses. They whine, they play the victim, and waste all their energy explaining why they cannot move forward. They become small, and the shadow of the problem engulfs their entire life. But for us, the masters of the game, problems are nothing more than tests of character. Rich people always stand taller than their problems. We do not look at a struggle and ask, why is this happening to me? We ask, how do I get over it? If you're facing a level 5 problem, and you are only a level 2 person, that problem will look like a massive mountain. But if you train yourself to be a level 10 person, then that level 5 problem is nothing more than a grain of sand under your shoe. We do not focus on the problem, we focus on the goal. When a storm hits, the coward looks for cover. But we, the leaders, learn to steer the sails and use the wind to go faster. You cannot control what the world throws at you, but you can control how big you grow to face it. Do not ever expect problems to get smaller. Demand of yourself that you grow larger. A true godfather never lets $1 million problem ruin his dinner simply because his stature surpassed that number a long time ago. Stand tall, raise your thinking, and look down at your difficulties. When you stand high enough, you will see that all troubles are just ants under your feet. Remember this: the stature of your wealth will never exceed the stature of the man you become.
Subscribe and follow the channel for daily self-improvement and valuable knowledge.